or spiritual lifestyle coach, and I work in the local area and internationally, paulniger.com. You can check that out, quick plug there. And what I do is I work with clients in helping them define the success that they seem to be missing in their life. This success could be happiness, it could be just wealth, or a lot of people just find that they're struggling so much in their life, and the struggles that they go through just seem to reoccur over and over again. And the reason why that happens is because they are failing to identify the lessons that are seated within each struggle. So we all go through struggles through different intensities, but whenever you don't come out of the struggle with a lesson, you're going to have to go through it again. No different from going through grade 1 and failing the class. You're going to have to stick around in grade 1 while everyone else is in grade 2. So that's what I do. So I wanted to relate my spirituality teachings to business, because I think they can commingle together. And one of my exercises that I use to tap into my clients is through a grounding exercise. So we're going to actually do that here today. So because we're talking about introspection, so we're going to do an exercise like a guided meditation that's going to help you really connect with yourself. So what we're going to do, we're going to have both feet flat on the floor. If you're on the stool, don't worry about it, as long as they're just, you can have some contact with that bar underneath your feet. So you want to have your palms either face down or face up on your lap. And we're going to do this whole sequence with your eyes closed. Don't worry, no one's going to look at you. It's just me making funny faces at you. Don't worry about that. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a nice tall inhale. And as you inhale, you want to lengthen your spine. So with the eyes closed, we're going to inhale. Suspend your breath at the top just for a moment. And now we're going to exhale a nice deep sigh. Good, we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale nice and big. Fill those lungs, suspend your breath. Feel the oxygen circulating in your lungs, inside out. Good. Each time you sigh, you should feel a deeper sense of relaxation. Again, inhale nice and big. Hold it. And release. Good. Keeping your eyes closed. Now what I want to do is to draw your attention to your feet. A lot of times we don't even think of our feet unless we're walking in heels. I don't know anything about that, but like when you're walking around all day and you're carrying a lot of stuff, your feet start to take a toll. So what we want to do is you want to draw your attention to your feet and start to feel the soles. Start to feel the floor and your feet pressing together. Can you feel a little subtle energy in there? That energy that lingers in your feet, I want you to draw your awareness of that through your ankles and come up higher to your shins. You might feel the energy in your calves. Is there tension in your calves? A lot of times when we walk around, we lock energy in certain areas. You can get muscle cramping. A calf is a major area for muscle cramping for a lot of people. So we're just going to energetically remove that blockage and carry that energy up towards our knees. We're going to bring our consciousness to our thighs. You're going to feel the compression of your thighs against your seat. Drawing your awareness to your glutes now. Now you can feel the weight of your body sinking into the chair. A lot of times we have tension in our hips and this glutes area because we're carrying things and we're walking up and down the stairs and we're sitting for prolonged periods of time. That energy becomes stagnated. So we want to release that stagnation and bring it up higher, and we're going to move it throughout the entire body. So right now, we're in the chest. So right here, I want you to inhale nice and big and bring your awareness to your chest. Fill those lungs. Exhale, release. Now energy is starting to move more freely. Draw your attention to your shoulders. Release the tension you hold in your shoulders from the stress that you carry throughout your day carrying bags, your purse, or just the emotional stress that you have to go through. It's in your shoulders. We're going to release that. Release that energy. You can feel your energy falling down your shoulders, through your arms, and all the way down to your fingertips. As you pause here for a moment, thinking about your fingertips, I want you to see if you can feel a little tingling sensation. It might be very, very small, but it's there. Now draw your attention from your fingertips and bring that energy all the way back up your arms, through your shoulders, and into your chest. So we're going to stay here for a moment. We're going to do a nice big inhale, activating that area, and then exhale, release. Now with your eyes closed, I want you to really think about that one thing in your life that really fulfills you. That one thing in your life that either you've been working so hard for, or that it's that one thing that you escape throughout your stressful day. That one thing that brings you home, that one thing that makes you feel whole. So rather than thinking about having to achieve it, I want you to think about it being here in this present moment. I want you to think and realize that whatever it is that you always think about wanting, or the one thing that you always fall back on, I want you to see it right here before you. That sense of accomplishment, if you've been chasing it for a long time, it'll start to overcome you right now. If it's something you fall back on, that sense of peace and well-being starts to saturate your entire being. You feel good. You feel blessed. You have a moment of celebration as a small smile starts to form on your face. Because everything you've worked so hard to achieve, you have it already right here with you. Nice big inhale, breathe into that space. Exhale. Excellent. Slowly open your eyes. So like when you go through a grounding exercise, it really connects you with you. It diverts your attention from anything but this present moment. And within the present moment, if you know Eckhart Tolle or any Ram Dass, any spiritual speaker, they always speak of the power of the now. They always speak of the present moment, because nothing belongs outside of this moment. All the stress that we carry is either in the future or in the past. In the present, right now, as we stand here, as we sit here, we have everything we need. So that's just drawing your awareness to now. And how am I going to relate that to business? Because this is part of introspection. So introspection is a huge part to finding that business success that you seek. A lot of people will think that when starting a business, they want to start right away on the business plan and bringing in funds or creating a list of clients. But the first step to a successful business is introspection. You want to define who you are and what your motive is. And when you do that, you're defining your why. What is your reason for being? What's going to move you, and what's going to connect you with your customers? Why are they going to believe you? And it could be anything. It could be your family. It could be you have a cause that's just so strong and deep within you that no matter how much struggle you go through, you're going to stay focused to that cause and you're going to pursue it. It doesn't matter how many people will say no to you, you're just going to keep moving. And that's fundamental in finding your business success. I have a friend that he was like, they travel around the world and they experiment with different sporting goods, and they stay in different hotels. They're called the Expeditioners. Me and Balraj went and met them a couple weeks ago, and I wrote about them recently. And they get to stay in hotels free. They get to try all this equipment, and all they do, they write about it and they take pictures of their surroundings, and it's pretty cool job if you think about it. They're not ever behind a desk. And they get approached by some companies sometimes saying they want their products displayed in a certain manner. They want things to be done their way. But my friends, what they say is that regardless of how much money they're ever offered, they will always stay true to themselves in presenting their work in their own manner, because they are just so strong, and that's what helps maintain that level of satisfaction. If you don't stay true to your own vision, you will always be seeking fulfillment elsewhere. You will never be fulfilled. You can't satisfy that desire because you're doing so many different things. Another part is you lack focus then, so you get diverted. So focus is another huge component of finding success. Actually, when I met Iman for the first time through the Vancouver Business Network, he was asking us, we were talking about networking, and he was saying, when you introduce yourself to someone, introduce yourself with that one thing that you're good at. What can you really do well? Rather than coming up with a whole list of all these different things you can do, be a master at that one thing. And I've always heard of that one saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none. And that's so true, because you become so diluted in everything you do. I have this one friend who was doing a business. He had just started, and he was kind of eager about it, but then as time went, he wasn't that focused. So what he did, he started to branch off and do a little bit of something else. And I was like, what happened to your other business? He's like, yeah, I'm still kind of doing it, but I'm doing this as well. I was like, Yeah, but you're kind of like scattered now. Like I don't even know how to refer anyone to you because you're just not like, you're not specialized in anything, right? And he's like, yeah. I go, what you're doing is you're working part-time in this one business, which means you're going to get part-time success. If you want to find full-time success, you have to work full-time. So now I always talk to my clients about success being like the ocean. So now if you go to the ocean with a small cup, that's how much success you're going to have, the amount that fits in that cup. Now if you go there with a bucket, now if you go with a barrel, that's how much success you're going to have. It's whatever your level of commitment is that size of the container that you're going to take with you to the ocean. So you want to have total focus whenever you're doing, whatever business that you're searching for. And also, a lot of people will find without that focus, they find themselves spread too thin. A lot of people, what's it called? I lost my track for a second. They will take on more tasks than they can handle. On average, the average business professional will have 30 to 100 different projects on their plate at one given time. So how are you able to focus? How do you fine-tune what you're supposed to get done? You end up having a whole task list of things that you need to get done, but you can't get finished. So that leads to a level of high stress in your life. So stress is a huge inhibitor for a lot of people when they're trying to find success. 40% of people lie awake at night just because of that stress. They can't sleep because they have all this weight on their shoulders that they're trying to take care of. So what I usually have my clients do is I'll take them through a guided meditation like we did. But for business, I will always recommend, well, whatever it is that you do, whatever you're searching, whether you're trying to define yourself and try to find a career path, and you're trying to go to school and trying to figure out what to study, you got to do an introspection. So a lot of people say, well, you want to write it out. And recently in my mastermind program, they had us write out our vision for ourselves. So think 10 years in advance. What would you see yourself doing? Money aside, all possibilities are possible. What do you see yourself doing? And then also write a list of goals that will help you reach that vision and make it a reality. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty clear on what I want. I do this quite often. I do this every day. So I was sat there and I was like trying to write, but I was struggling with it. I was like, what the heck? I do this all the time. I don't know what the problem is. So I had to stop and come away from it because I had so much anxiety about thinking of what I want to do. I had this grand design, all this stuff. And so what I did was I was like, okay, I'll start again tomorrow. So what I did was I did this in my meditation. So just like how we did that guided meditation, I'll start to visualize everything that I desire, everything I see or desire of myself. I will see myself in first person achieving it and doing it in real time. So when I was able to create that clarity through my meditation, the writing started to flow. So a lot of people think that meditation is more reserved for the spiritual fanatics or the religious guys or the yogis in India wearing the loincloths. No, that is me. No, you don't have to do that. You guys meditate throughout your day unconsciously. We also do it in sleep. Sleep is a form of unconscious meditation. So meditating consciously is just about being mindful in whatever you're doing. So when you're being able to come into the present moment like we had practiced earlier, you're able to become aware of your thoughts and just being present in the moment. So whenever you're able to divert your attention from the past or the future, you come into the now, and from there you're able to gain that focus and you're able to receive the communication with your subconscious. So you're able to identify what it is that you're looking for in life. A lot of people who sit down initially into meditation, they're like, well, my mind just keeps traveling. I can't grab a hold of my thoughts. It's like they're like a cowboy wrangler or something. I was like, well, what you need to do is deep breathing. So in Sanskrit, there's a word called pranayama. And pranayama is a deep exercise of breathing. So breathing is the exercise. And if you think about it, without breath, we all die. Life and death starts and begins with breath. You know it's true when it rhymes, right? So what I do is I will start to do my deep breathing. So as we were doing today, we started off with our deep breathing, and right away we had a nice tall spine. Most people only breathe in the top 1/3 of their lungs. So that's shelter breathing. So what happens is your lungs are your number one defense mechanism for external toxins. So external toxins is your environmental pollutants and also your emotional pollutants. So now if you think about any stress that you carry in your day, how did we start off our meditation? We did it with a deep sigh. That sigh, whenever you're sighing, you're actually releasing an emotional toxin. In Chinese medicine, we call that qi stagnation, which originates in the liver. So whenever you find yourself angry or frustrated, it's the mood of the organ, the liver, right? Each organ's got a mood, and the liver is the one that's got irritability and anger. So when you breathe, you're able to release those emotional toxins, and you're also facilitating a proper posture. So already when you're standing out like this, you exude that confidence, you exude that proper alignment physically and energetically of your body. So now from there, now you can start to create space in your thoughts. Yeah. And then also another factor in finding success is a lot of people push themselves 8, 10 hours a day, even plus, especially if you're a businessman. 12 hours a day is the norm. And they keep running, it's like they're on the treadmill, they don't seem like they're going anywhere. I was talking to a client actually recently, and he's like, well, how do you handle that? He goes, I'm just getting burnt out right now. I go, why? What do you mean? He goes, well, I have all these things I want to get done, but nothing seems to be getting done. I go, well, how do you know they're not getting done? He goes, well, because I'm just always working. I go, well, have you ever stopped and actually reflected on not just your day, not just your week, but actually on your month? Because sometimes you have to look back that far to see how much you've actually done, how far you've actually come. He's like, oh. I go, yeah. So when you're able to do that, you can actually start to appreciate. So I go, the key is, once you get something done, you need to, instead of jumping from one thing to the next right away, start to celebrate. Take a moment and to celebrate that moment. So he goes, well, how do I do that? And I go, he goes, because I'm always at work. I go, well, take the time. Take that time to stretch. Allow yourself to have me time. You know, stretch behind your desk. Practice deep breathing. You know, take that moment where you can go focus on whatever your end goal and just think about, yes, it's reaching me. I'm coming closer to it. And then also go for a walk. So little things like that will definitely help you stay clear on what it is that you want and help you maintain that goal. Like a lot of people will pull you in different directions and say, yeah, do this, can you do this? But you want to stay focused, because if you don't stay focused on what you want through introspection, you're going to find yourself very unfulfilled, you know, chasing that dollar all the time. Yeah. So yeah, thank you.